screaming just below my skin. Getting out of control, bleeding me dry. Stuck in my head, emotions on the pole, a speechless pledge. Stuck in my head again, emotions on the pole. I can't pretend, spiraling memories, bathed in your world over and over. I'm not prepared, I'm screaming just below my skin. Getting out of control, bleeding me dry. Stuck in my head again, emotions on the pole. I can't pretend, spiraling memories, bathed in your world over and over. I'm not prepared, I'm screaming just below my skin. La 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 la. Stuck in my head again, emotions on the pole. I can't pretend.
Radio Cardiff.
Wow. Good morning. I have a guest in the studio. Could you tell the listener who you are?
Good morning. Hi, Georgina. I'm Volenté.
And was that you singing then?
That was me.
Well, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. It's the first time you came in and we had a bit of trouble getting to meet each other, but it all worked out in the end. You've brought in this amazing album. It's called Touch, with a beautiful picture of yourself on the front.
Thank you so much.
And what a track to start off with, Screaming. It touched my heart. That was really lovely.
Oh, that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Well, it's
Thank
absolutely
you.
sincerely meant. Right, could you tell the listener, Volenté, because you've got an exotic look, just about a little bit about yourself, where you originate from, your ancestry,
I was born in South Africa. I'm a proper mashup of 7 different nationalities, Georgina, so sometimes it's quite difficult to put myself in a box, as it were.
Exotic is the word.
International, I say.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. Got hair to die for. I'd love that my hair to be that long. And that dark. Mine's going a bit grey now. Right. How long have you been living in Cardiff, or do you live in Cardiff?
Over 20 odd years now, Georgina, yeah.
Okay.
I made Cardiff my home, I found it to be just a very friendly city. It's beautiful, I love...
The people are nice.
Yeah. It just feels like home, really.
Indeed it does, and that's how I feel after I've lived here 45 years.
Yeah.
But I come from the middle of England, as you can
Right.
probably tell from my accent.
Yeah.
And but once you get here, it sort of grabs you.
It does. I mean, I in 2010 I moved to Canada, and I wasn't there for very long, about 15 months, and I just thought, no, I've got to get back to Cardiff, love. You know?
That sounds
I just
cool.
thought I got to get back to Cardiff because
Yeah.
this is where I feel most relaxed and at ease and at home, and you know, I just love the people of Cardiff, really.
And this is the land of song, as
That's
we can tell
right,
from your
yes.
lovely Touch album. Right, can you tell me a little bit about the album itself? What inspired you to write this album?
Well, with this album, this is actually my third album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've done a few singles, a few EPs over the years. But I think for me, this album just represents where I'm at right now as a musician, as an artist, you know, just where I feel really comfortable in my music making. It's what I love. It's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, probably.
Oh, fingers crossed.
And
It's gonna
fingers
be-
crossed, yeah. And I think, you know, it's just sort of, it's about relationships, you know.
Yeah.
How things can be amazing one minute and the next minute it can all go wrong.
Yeah, I've had a few of them.
You know, and just really about communication being the most important thing, you know, when
Yeah.
you're in a relationship, because we all have ups and downs, and I think it's about just being honest, you know, and expressing how you feel, and if you are in love with someone, to really show it, you know.
Oh, gosh.
And hope that they reciprocate, isn't it? You know?
Fingers crossed
Yeah,
again.
Fingers crossed.
A lot of good wishes today.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously a heartfelt record. Did you play the piano on that last track?
I play everything on the album. I write,
You're
produce.
like the female Prince. Because you're diminutive. You're beautiful like he was. And a fantastic
Yeah.
singer.
No, I tend to play every single thing, Georgina, you know.
Wow.
I mean, I suppose over the years, having been in so many bands and all sorts of things, I always think of my dad. My dad always said, you know, you do a job yourself and you know you've done it properly, isn't it? You know?
Tell me some of the bands you've been in. Have there been South African bands or have there been bands in Britain?
No,
Or
I mean, I
worldwide?
used to part-own Recorday Dockrite Records for quite some years. But I've been part of projects, I don't know if you ever heard of a project called JT Mouse. I was in that quite some years ago.
Yeah.
In various different projects in and around Cardiff, you know, everything from, if anybody remembers, Captain Paranoid and the Delusions.
I remember that rings a big
Yeah,
bell.
and I also did singing with Dark Bazaar. This is all going quite
Yeah.
far back, you know. But
And always in Cardiff, or have you spread your wings?
I've performed in Alberta, in Canada,
Wow.
in Vancouver. I've performed in Holland, in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just love music. So really, wherever it's happening, I'm happy to get involved.
And your music's quite universal anyway, because I can't put a genre on it.
No, I mean, the wonderful thing is, it's been said of me that I'm a genre blender, you know, that I just mix everything
Mix it, yeah.
together. I think it's just mostly what comes out of my head,
Yeah.
and I just try and get it out, you know.
So what track are we going to play next? We just played Screaming.
We could go for Falling For You, because this is a bit of a love song.
Okay, oh, I'm in a lovey-dovey kissy mood. Track 7. Here
That's-
we go. Do you want me to...
Track 2, that is, Georgina.
Oh, sorry.
Falling For You.
Oh, yes, I haven't got my glasses on. Well, I have, but they're the wrong ones. Here we go. listening to Volenté. This is a track called Falling For You from the album Touch. Another ethereal, wonderful, wonderful melodic tune. Oh, yeah, you're a talented lady, you know, Volenté.
Thank you so much, Georgina.
I do hear a lot of singers in this trade.
I'm sure you do.
And you're on a par with, you know, a lot of the greats. In fact, you're kind of like a very romantic Misha Parisi kind of thing, but
wow.
it's lighter. I like it. So this is your third album, as we said.
Yes.
How can the listener get hold of the album?
Well, it's available on all digital platforms, everything from iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Play, even Xbox Music. So it's available all digital platforms, and
You can get it on things like Facebook and that. Can you?
well, everyone can have a listen to snippets of the album on my SoundCloud,
Okay.
which is www.soundcloud.com/Volenté. Otherwise, I also have my website if everybody would like to see a bit about me, which is volenté.co.uk.
Okay. And I've got Twitter here, twitter.com
I'm on Twitter as well.
/Volenté official.
Yeah, that's right.
Shall I spell your name?
Yes, please.
V for Victor, O for Orange, L for Leather, E for Edward, N for Naughty, T for Tommy, and is it another E?
Yeah.
E for Edward
Okay.
again. Yes, Volenté. As it sounds really, phonetically. Volenté.
Yes.
It's,
Oh, my
it's a very exotic name, right? I've seen that some of the producers on this, the recording engineer, Tony Salter.
Yes.
Depeche Mode, Manic Street Preachers, John Spencer Blues Explosion, Moby, The Libertines, and Amy Winehouse. Now that's a pedigree, and that's your engineer on this album.
Yes, Tony, what a joy to work with. Oh, my God. We've actually become friends since, you know. And the funny thing is, Georgina, I found him on Google.
But it is amazing, and with a history like that, a pedigree like that of people he's engineered. I mean, the music is really sincere. I do this most sincerely.
Yeah.
It's not very often that I go, well, yeah, I like that, but I do like it. Very esoteric.
Well, it's like Tony
And
said to
feminine.
me, you know, what he enjoyed, he said, was that he felt that it was so nice to work with an artist for
Yes.
a change. Because I think I surprised him on so many different levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we spent most of our time laughing because we had such a great time just recording the album, you know. And I mean, he was just fantastic to work with, really nice guy, you know, and knew his stuff as well. And it was great to be able to work with him because he just gave me the freedom to make the music I wanted to make. There was no restrictions, you know, so he was really great to work with.
And when you're the producer, the writer, the singer, the performer, and the instrumentalist,
Yeah.
he's got to do his job.
Well, you know,
You're too
he was
busy.
quite surprised by that, you
Yeah,
know.
well, it's amazing.
And it was like I said to him, you know, I'm just in a different place in my life where I was ready to be confident about making the songs that I wanted, that I'm making, and just really enjoyed it more than anything, you know. So I'll definitely be working with Tony in the future. And like I said, you know, out of it, we gained a friendship as well. So that was fantastic to work with Tony, you know.
Yeah. Are you doing any live performances around this area in the near future?
I will be planning at the moment. Everything's still to be confirmed, you know, but in rehearsing heavily at the moment just to make sure that the show would be good, you know. So yes, definitely, if everybody keeps up to date with me on my website, any new tours and things will be announced on there.
Okay, right. Our third track. Which track shall that be?
For you, Georgina, I'm going to suggest Baby Baby.
Oh, I say. That's number 3.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me in.
Oh, it's
Thank
my
you.
pleasure. I love having people surprise me. Well, you're not a surprise. I knew you were coming. But it came a little bit earlier than I thought. But it doesn't matter because it's so good. I can play more tracks.
Fantastic.
This is Baby Baby.
locked on, the original Radio Cardiff, 98.7.
Wow, that had a very Bhangra feel to it, very exotic. I do like this album. I am going to recommend it. And I've got 2 extra copies, so if you don't mind, I'll do a competition with those 2 copies next week.
That'd be fantastic, as long as you keep 1 copy for yourself, Georgina.
Yes, well, I'll keep the one I've opened.
Fantastic.
One I've used. And then I've got pristine, perfect copies for next week when I'll do a competition.
Awesome.
I'll make up a nice question about the album. I'll sort of read your profile and then ask them a question like, where did you originate from?
Yeah.
That was what the top of the show was, wasn't it? So
That's great.
yeah. Right, so we'll do that for the listener next week. Give away 2 copies of Volenté's beautiful album called Touch. We've got to go to the news in a minute. Is there anything else you want to remind the listener about where they can get your album and things like that, your Twitter and Facebook?
All available on all digital platforms, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, whatever people use these days, it's there. If you type in Volenté.